raise $1 million, will you do the Olympia?
I think so.
Money. You had somebody offering you $1 million to come back.
I know, but that's for me to come back, not to.
What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another daily bodybuilding news live. And I want to encourage you guys, if you are watching live or if you're watching on replay, give a video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. And we've got some big topics to discuss today. Not only what you're seeing on the screen right now in Jay Cutler's potential comeback for $1 million. You guys saw that pre-roll on what he actually said about coming back for $1 million and the fact that there's $1 million on the table right now. Plus he has some other interesting comments. I dug back deep into some old episodes of the Cutler cast because I remembered specific things that he said and was said in that podcast. Plus we go to the recent physique update from Jay Cutler, and we have a ton of physique updates as well. Guys like Tony O'Burton, James Hollingshead, Martin Fitzwater. We've got the guest postings of Quinton Eriya, also Nick Walker, Hidetada Yamagishi, Kai Greene. We have tons coming out for you guys in this video. So let's get straight into it, and we'll get to those comments by Jay Cutler and what he had to say on a recent episode, or on some semi-recent episodes of the Cutler cast. And also we have a look back at how he looked 5 months ago when he posed down with Lexx Little on his YouTube channel rather as well. But let's get into this and listen to the comments from Jay Cutler, what he had to say on Cutler cast, and sort of what he went into and why I believe there's a decent chance Jay Cutler could make a comeback to either the Mr Olympia or the Masters Mr Olympia stage. So let's get straight into that right now.
I said I'd come back to Olympia. I think it would take $1 million.
So wait, I just thought about something. What if I got a GoFundMe started?
No, I don't want to take money from the fans.
Why not? Fuck it. If I can raise $1 million, will you do the Olympia?
I think so.
I'm going to go on whitehouse.gov and start a petition for Jay Cutler to do the Olympia. Would you do it for $1 million?
You know what? I'm not lying, bro. I would like to do this Arnold Classic in 8 weeks.
So when Jay says that, obviously this was 8 weeks prior to the Arnold Classic this year. So what is it, 10, 11 weeks ago, whatever it is now, probably 11, 12 weeks ago now. And he sort of made that as a joke, but listen to what he goes on to say, and the sort of vibe you get off Jay. A lot of these retired bodybuilders, some people say, oh, you shouldn't compete, things like that. We saw it with Guy Sistonino on the Fuad Abiad podcast, and Fuad saying, no, don't compete, you'll get smashed, all that sort of stuff. But once a bodybuilder, always a bodybuilder, and you'll hear what Jay Cutler has to say, and you can sort of see it in his face as well. So if you are just listening, pull up the video and check this bit out.
We're gonna hit up Arnold and say, put $1 million up, and Jay will do it. You'd get smoked though.
I don't know if I get smoked. Well, right now, but give me a year.
Well, that's. I think.
I mean, if Derek Lunsford can go from 212 to be second at the Olympia in a year's time, dude.
Yeah, but your waist is as wide as your shoulders.
Well, no, it won't be if I get gassed up again. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know that.
And saying that it won't be if he gets gassed up again, obviously that means on the gas, means gear, means getting bigger. And to me, he's definitely gotten more muscular and tighter, and just everything looks a lot better. And we'll really be able to see that when we look at the physique updates from 5 months ago to now. And he says now is his starting point, but you'll see a little bit more. But here's what is said on one of the other podcasts.
Maybe we can have you and Ronnie come back. It's just hard. It's just, you got to get big sponsors.
We got to raise the price.
I mean,
a lot of money.
You had somebody offering you $1 million to come back.
I know, but that's for me to come back, not to have the competitors. You know?
Well, just talk to him. Can you give me half, and we can make a Jay Cutler Classic?
Yeah, in Vegas or
will you guest pose?
So this is awesome. Like the fact that someone has actually put up $1 million, and I did hear this on another Cutler cast as well. Couldn't quite find that one, but someone basically did say that they'd put up $1 million for Jay to come back. Now Jay put that number out there, thinking probably no one would actually put up $1 million to see him come back. But really, if someone put up $1 million to see Jay Cutler back on stage, they're creating some sort of history. Yeah, he might not look like what he used to look like, but if you get like Jay Cutler coming back against Victor Martinez, even if Jay loses, I don't think it tarnishes Jay's reputation. The fact that he'd be 50 years of age as well. He's doing this Fit for 50 thing right now. I'll play a bit of his footage so you guys can see it. His current form, this is on Jay Cutler TV. The link to Jay Cutler TV is in the description below, so you can check out the full video where he trains chest, obviously shot by Dave Borlay as well, out there in Vegas at Elevation. And I got to say, like, him standing there, he looks great. Yeah, he's not what he used to be, but Jay Cutler was a 4-time Mr. Olympia. Now, if we lower our expectations a little bit, I think we could see something pretty impressive from Jay, because I thought Jay, there's no chance he could ever come back. Looking at this physique update, I think there's a chance he could come back and at the worst sort of look respectable. Now, this is physique update 5 months ago when he trained with Lexx Little in Gold's gym. Now, this is very good lighting here as well, probably a lot better lighting than we saw in that last video, and that's him 5 months ago. I think he looks definitely better than then. He doesn't look bad here. I actually said he looks quite good and better than I thought. But you can see there, his delts, they look like, you know, someone said Jay looks absolutely melted and things like that. And yeah, in this sort of physique update, yeah, the delts are sort of definitely faded. They don't have that pop to them. And Jay's talked about that in that recent video where he's posing. But I think that this look is definitely better than what we're seeing 5 months ago. So if this is his starting point, if this is on a, you know, a TRT or a little bit more than that, I would be very interested to see what Jay looks like if he gets bigger. Now, is it a healthy thing? Is it a smart thing? I mean, I think Jay's at that stage of life, about to turn 50, where he wants to sort of, I suppose, come in at his best and I suppose bring his best. And then if he's going to have one last go at it, he's not going to wait till he's 60. So if he is going to come back at any stage, it will be now. It'll be this year or next year at the Masters Mr Olympia, I believe. I don't think that I'd like to see Jay come back at the Open Mr Olympia, but at a Masters Mr Olympia against a Kamalo Gagni, against a Victor Martinez, Johnny Jackson. There's several other names in there that are, you know, quite good competitors. You've got other guys in other divisions. You'll have probably Danny Hester in the classic physique. You'll probably have Hidetoshi Yamagishi in the 212 Masters as well, because we've got all the divisions too. So let me know your thoughts on what Jay Cutler is looking like right now, because I think this look is pretty damn good. The legs are pretty decent, which is what we've seen go on other guys. Yeah, the one leg is smaller than the other one, but he obviously will add size overall to both those legs. And I think this look is pretty damn impressive overall. Let me know your thoughts, and do you think he'll actually make a comeback? I do have a poll up right now. You guys are giving me your opinions in the comments. Yoshi T says he should just stay retired. And I'll go to that poll very, very soon, and we'll go to it at the end of this video, because I've got a ton more physique updates on the way for you guys as well. But let me know your thoughts on all that in the comments below, and let me know if you think he's much better than he was back in this physique update when he posed down next to Lexx Little and whoever that guy is on the left. Sorry, I don't know that guy's name. But let's move on. Let's get into some of these physique updates. I'll just add those up on the screen. And here we have Michal Krizo, recent guest posing. I featured him recently, and he's looking absolutely enormous right now while keeping it really tight in his off-season. Now, this leads me to believe that Michal Krizo may be competing somewhat soon, because he's in pretty damn good shape for just a regular guest posing. I think that he, you know, you look at him here, very thick, but still pretty damn good shape. Like when you pull up and you can see your abs on a front double bicep, you have clear lines and separation in your quads. I think that tells me he's in damn good shape. So I think that Michal Krizo can definitely do some damage in 2023. I think that he's probably one of the guys going under the radar. You look at that balance. Yes, from the back, he does need improvements, but he has added thickness to his back. I think his back overall will be improved, but he needs the whole back side of his body to be improved. Hamstrings, glutes, back. I think once he improves all of those and they all come in, you know, how we want to see his backside sort of come in, I think that this guy will be trouble. He doesn't have the shape of some of these other guys, but you know, he still does have pretty damn good shape. He has a small waist for a big guy, and I think that's more important than anything. Now, this is the most recent physique update from the shed. James Hollingshead looking super thick, and he just has that dense look, and he's in damn good condition for off-season as well. Now, he's got a ton of hair on his physique. Everyone knows once you strip that hair off, you look a lot more conditioned. It's funny, you can think, oh, I can see through it, but you really can't. If you're a bodybuilder and you've been in condition before, you know it's a very different look once you take that hair off. But James Hollingshead looking very thick here. He's looking dangerous for 2023. I think we might see a return to the form where he won that British Grand Prix in Luke Sando's honour. I think we might see that once again, and if we can see that plus a few improvements, This guy is clearly a top 10 bodybuilder in the world. He did say on a recent episode on Floyd Abiad's podcast that he is, basically upping things a little bit for this year, and he took it very, very easy last year at Mr. Olympia health-wise, and he was, played it very smart and still looked phenomenal. Had that been in a smaller show, I think he would have done very, very well. And get your comments and questions in right now if you're watching live or on replay, and I will get to the live ones at the end of this video. But let me know your thoughts on James Hollingshead in the comments below, and how you think he'll do in 2023. Now, Tonio Burton, 8 weeks out of that Cali Pro, he's looking dangerous. This is posted by his coach, Classic Blum. Blum? I'm not sure what it is actually. I always talk to him, but I don't actually know the correct pronunciation there, if I can actually speak English. But Tonio Burton is looking phenomenal. Look at that small waist. That's one thing that I've sort of said about Tonio. He has to keep that waist super tight, and he's doing that while adding the size as well. The sweep on the quads. Really, if this guy brings his hams and glutes in, he is super dangerous. Because when he won those shows last year against Justin Rodriguez, I thought he still had a bit more in the tank, whether his physique was a bit tired or what. I just thought he could have brought it in a little bit more in the hams and glutes, and he was still phenomenal. He still wiped that show and won it with ease, in my opinion. So if Tonio is able to bring that plus more size, this guy is dangerous. And I think this guy will be top 10 at the 2023 Mr. Olympia. That's my big call. That's a prediction for this year. And he's a very, very dangerous competitor, reminiscent of like a Michael Lockett, Dexter Jackson sort of combination physique with crazy shape. But here we've got Martin Fitzwater posing. I forget this guy's name off the top of my head, but he's looking great for his off-season. I know that Martin's obviously taken this off-season very serious. He's wanting to pack on some size in some certain areas, bring that conditioning in from the front, and bring an all-time best physique to the stage. And I've got to tell you, the physique updates that I've seen, that you guys probably haven't seen, he's looking very, very good in my opinion, and I think he's going to be dangerous in 2023. Another guy that I think can move into the top 10. I'd love to see him battle against like a Tonio Burton, because Martin, you can see there, just relaxed. He has a lot of size on that physique, and I think he's going to do very, very well. And we're going to have to get him back on the podcast very soon to get an update from him on what's going on. We obviously had that recent episode of Bodybuilding University, which you guys hopefully saw as well. Now, Kai Greene, this is the most recent physique update. This is actually posted 5 days ago on his Instagram page, and I've got to believe it's recent as well. The waist looks a little bit thicker. It's just sort of, if this is recent as well, I think it's very, very impressive. And yes, thank you, Daniel Willis, Noel Dizel. That's who Martin Fitzwater was training with. But Kai Greene, now this is pretty much do or die for Kai Greene. If he does not come back at this year's Masters Mr. Olympia, or this year's Mr. Olympia, I think it's game over for Kai Greene. We can say the comeback is done once and for all for good. We will never see Kai Greene back on a Mr. Olympia stage. But seeing this go up, it's sort of, to me, this guy could diet for probably 4 weeks and step on stage at Masters Mr. Olympia, get an Olympia title. And I think that Olympia title holds something for Kai Greene. Now, does he want to come back to the Olympia stage? I believe in the past he didn't want to come back because of the management. It was actually under a dispute there. Now that, you got Dan Solomon, Jake Wood, and those guys running it, I don't see a reason for Kai Greene not to come back, because I don't think money is going to be the major motivating factor, because we know the prize money for the Masters Mr. Olympia isn't going to be through the roof, considering they said across all, I think it's 10 divisions, there's $229,000 in prize money US. Now that sounds like a lot, but when you divvy that up against, divide it by 10 divisions, it's $29,000 per division. Now, I believe in bikini and divisions like that, they won't have as much prize money. So say even it's 75 in the men's open, what's the winner going to get there? 20,000, 25,000 maybe? That's not going to be a motivating factor. And we have also a super chat. First one actually in a while. So shout out to Moose World. Says, Kai Greene's interviews make my brain melt. He's been done. People need to ignore so he can stop throwing word salads at us. Yeah, good point. He's been doing that for a long time now. And honestly, I got sort of dragged into it last year, year before, whenever it was, when he was teasing again. It was under new management, and I thought that Kai Greene may come back to the Mr. Olympia stage. I had honest belief in that, but now it's really faded. The only reason I have any hope is because of this Masters Olympia, and I'm sure he's going to tease us going into it. But the question is, will he actually step on stage or not? I don't believe he will if I had to guess, but could he? He absolutely could, because it doesn't look like it would take a lot for him to actually make that comeback and get back on stage. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Andrew Creason agreeing as well. Says Moose World, I completely agree. And I'll get to the rest of your comments very, very soon as well. I believe that's the last one on this video, but I want to show you Hidetada Yamagishi, who's confirmed that he was going to make a comeback at that 2023 Masters Olympia, but in the 212, because people are forgetting that there's actually a 212 at this show. And there's going to be a Masters 212 where I think there's a lot of guys that could actually compete in that. Eduardo Correa, Hidetada Yamagishi, who you're seeing on the screen right now. This is from a few weeks ago as well, but I know Hide is a very hard worker. So I think he's going to add a decent amount of muscle onto this frame, but he's in great condition already. So I think he's just going to continue to add muscle. The contest isn't until near the end of August. I believe it's the 26th and 27th of August. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that. Which also lines up very well with Jay Cutler's comeback too, because he's doing the Fit for 50, which I believe he's 50 on the 3rd of August. So you just have to extend that for another couple of weeks, get on stage, and we might see a preview of Jay Cutler getting on stage as well. And the other reason why I believe this could be a possibility for Jay Cutler, which I'll bring back up on the screen very soon, is because I was actually meant to pull it for this video on a recent episode of Olympia TV with Terry Kilgindi, Tim Wilkin, and also Chris Cormier. Tim Wilkin said, we may see a comeback that's talking about a specific name, and then Tim Wilkin said, rhymes with Butler. Obviously, Cutler. So could Jay Cutler stand on stage once again? Also, do let me know what you think about Hidetada Yamagishi. Do you think he'll win the 212 Masters Olympia title? Obviously, there is some breakdown in muscle with age and things like that, and some body parts start to go before others, but he's still got legs. Which is encouraging. His back needs to come up, and his arms and stuff. But if he can do that and bring his trademark insane posing and a bit more thickness overall, then I think Hidetada Yamagishi can have a decent go at winning that 212 Olympia title. But let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And I'm going to get to your questions very, very soon. I'm just going to add this video to the stream so we can watch Jay Cutler posing down. But let's get to your questions as we go through this and comments. Here we go. Andrew Creason says, I think it looks great for 50, but I agree. I think he should just do the Masters, not the Open. Yeah, I'd love to see him do the Masters. And I'll go to those poll results too. So if you haven't voted yet and you are watching live, vote in that poll whether you think Jay Cutler will come back this year at some point or not at all. Here we go. Noah Warham says, do you think Jay could win an Open show, something smaller than the O or Arnold? I don't believe so unless it's a Masters show. Now, they do have Masters shows through the year, but I just don't believe that Jay Cutler can get back to that level. Now, that sounds negative, but it's just, he's turning 50. He's been off the stage for a while. He is a white guy. Not many white guys, Caucasian guys, actually hold on to their physiques as long as, like you look at Dexter Jackson, Sean Roden, the oldest Mr. Olympia winner. A lot of those guys tend to be able to maintain that roundness to their physique. So for that reason, I believe he cannot win an Open show, but I'd love to see Jay prove me wrong. I mean, what a story that would be. That'd be probably bigger than his Mr. Olympia comeback win, which had never been done before. So, Andrew Creason, honestly love Jay, but I don't think he could win even a smaller show without having to do things at a level that would really hurt his body. Yep, absolutely, totally agree. So thank you guys for getting in the comments. Really enjoy these videos. If you do enjoy these videos as well, let me know in the comments and I'll continue to do more, like the videos and all that good stuff. It's very much appreciated from you guys. And we have one more comment that we'll go to before we wrap this one up. And it's Mike McIsaac and says, Cutler will get smoked if he does the Masters. For too many reasons to list. Waist is blown out. He was a great champion and still a great ambassador for the sport. And then he put in brackets pageantry. Yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion 100%, but I think this physique update, I've got to tell you, I'm very impressed, but maybe because I had lower expectations, but the fullness of the chest is back and you get to see those shoulders. Look at those shoulders now, there, and then we'll compare them at the end of this video. Now let's quickly go to the end of this where he's posing down. They look melted 5 months ago, like people were saying. And I was like, well, there's no chance of him coming back. Now I look at the recent one, and I have slightly different opinion on that. But that could just be because I'm a Jay Cutler fan. I've always loved Jay, and had signed pictures of him in my room and whatnot. But yeah, Jay Cutler I think is looking fantastic and really did surprise me, and I think he surprised the whole industry in how he's looking currently. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Bodybuilding News Daily Live once again. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. Bodybuilding University is back as well, and we have some amazing guests coming up in the coming weeks as well. You guys will be really surprised at who we have coming on the show. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. For Desktop Bodybuilding, I'm Xavier Wills, and we are out.